Hello, welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations in Clay. My name is Louis Palladini, and tonight I'd like to do another dinosaur. It's one of my favorites. It's called a Triceratops, and it's a three-horned dinosaur. You know, there's a lot of times the Triceratops you see in a lot of these movies, they'd be fighting with a Tyrannosaurus Rex, you know, and they'd be battling it out, and it would be quite a battle because I think they're both evenly matched. But I want to show you the types of clay that we can use tonight. There's an oil-based clay such as this, which never hardens. It can be used again and again, and as I mentioned in the past, I used to love using this as a kid because when I got bored with it, I'd make other things and move on. Another type of clay that you can use is an air-hardening clay such as this, which can harden like in a couple of hours or overnight, and which can be bought in any art store. And you know, the good thing about this is once it hardens, you can paint it, and it's permanent. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey, which can be baked in a regular home oven at 275 degrees for about 15 or 20 minutes, and it becomes hard. And you know, you can drill it, sand it, you can make a tremendous amount of detail, and that's what I love about this. I'll show you the size of balls of clay that we'll be using tonight. This is going to be the size for the body, and then we have these two smaller balls here. We're going to have 4 of these. The 2 in the back are a little bit bigger than the others, or the front. These are the sizes we want to use for the legs. And then for the head, we want to use this size right here. And then for the horns, and then the horn that's on the nose, we're going to use this size ball of clay here. See that little one there? And then these 2 that I'm holding in this hand, right here, those will be used for the horns. So I think we'll start with the body first, and I'll take this and I'll show you what we'll be doing here. The body that we'll be creating, think of this, it's this piece right here with the tail. Think of the dinosaur without the legs, and that's what we'll be creating. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this and just mold it in my hands like this. Almost create that potato-like shape, like that. Just keep working it. And then I'm gonna take and be pinching this to make the tail. See how we're doing this? See how I'm pinching that? And then you just kind of go around and you kind of pull it out like that. See how we're doing that? Just like that. Do that. And then what I want to do is create more of the shape of the body. I'll show you what I'm doing. See this? You want to create, see I'm pinching this here? You want to create the backbone right here. See how I'm doing that? I'll let you see. I'll take my hand away, I'll pinch a little bit more. And see how I created that backbone there? We want to do that. And I'll just work this a little more. And then I'll compare it to the model that I did last night. So now we have the approximate same size. See that? That's the size that we want. So I'm just going to work this a little bit more. And then what I want to do on this end here, this is going to be the neck. So I'm going to take a piece of clay like this and almost bring it to a point right here. See that? And the reason for that is when I make the head, I'm going to make a hole and put the head over that, and it will help make a much stronger bond. So I want to work this a little more. I'll show you. I want to create that slope in the back. Just like that. And I'm going to pinch the tail, kind of continue that backbone through there. I'm going to flip it over and I'll kind of do the underside of the tail in the same way. See how I'm pinching that? You want to pinch the bottom of the tail like that. Then the next thing that we want to do, we've got the body, the shape that we want, and that's the shape that you want right now. I want to put this aside and I want to do the head. And the head is this piece right here. We're going to work on this. Think of the head piece here. You're going to have this without the horns and without the, you know, the white plates here. I'll show you how to do that. We're going to take and just work this a little bit like this. See, I'm kind of pulling this out. This is going to be where the snout, like where the nose is. You know, and don't worry if a little paint got on there. You can always take the, see, I'm just going over it like that, and you can make the paint disappear. So we're going to take and kind of pull this out like this. And just like that. Do that. And then what I want to do is see how we're kind of creating that. We're going to make a beak here in a minute. And what I'll do is I'll get a toothpick and I'll show you how we'll do this. I'm going to take and see what I'm doing here. We can kind of go like that. Push that like that. See, I'm creating that mouth. And what I'm going to do is flip this back over and kind of create that mouth that goes underneath there. Then see this? We're going to kind of create like a beak. Think of like almost like a parrot. See how that I'm making that? And then you can take this and push it back up like that. So now what we want to do is we want to continue to make the head of the Triceratops. What I'm going to do now is they have almost like a round plate. I'll show you here. See this area here? There's almost like a round plate. And then we're going to put the other little like blades here with the white ones here. They go around. That gives him more protection. So when he's in a fight or something, that helps protect his neck and the rest of his body. You know. So I'll work this. See, I'm kind of taking this. I'll do it from this side. That way you can get a good view. See, I'm kind of pulling that out. And just kind of keep working it. You pull it out like that. Just like that. I'm going to go all the way around. See how I'm doing that? Just like that. See how it's beginning to take the shape? See how that is? You got the nice pointed beak. Then you got the plate in the back. I want to make sure it's roughly the same size as the other Triceratops that I had done. It's approximately the same size. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. Just going to work it a little more. Just keep, see I'm pinching that, making it flat. And then another thing that I also want to do is I mentioned that we were going to make a hole here. So what I want to do is create a hole like this, just like that. See that? I'm just going to put a little indentation here for the area where I kind of want the eye to be. And I'll do that the same on the other side. See, I'm kind of pinching it, bringing it up a little bit. Just like that. And that's the approximate location of the eye. And what we'll do is I'll show you, we'll put the horns over that. What we'll do is we're going to take these two balls of clay here where I told you the horns, which are these horns right here. See that? Those are the two horns that we'll be creating. A simple way to do this, think of it, is just roll it on the table. See I'm doing that with my fingers? Just get it started that way. Just like that. And do the other one the same way. You just want to get it started. And then what we can do is you take in your fingers, see how I'm doing this? You work it from that side, then you work it from that side. I'll show you. See? Keep pinching back and forth like that. And see that I'm just kind of working that. I just want to see that they're approximately the same size as the ones that I did last night, which you can see they are. So I'll just work this a little bit more, and then I'll work the other one. So I'm going to pick this one up now. See how kind of pinch it from both sides, and we want to make that. Just think of a really long ice cream cone, basically, and that's what this horn kind of looks like. Just work it like that, just like that. See that? And I'll see if they're approximately the same size, which they are. I'm just going to just make it just a touch longer. So now what we can do is now we can come back to our Triceratops. And let me see. I want to take this, the horn here, and see I'm attaching that? And just kind of working in. See, I'm kind of pinching the clay. We're going to go around, pinching the clay like that. And we'll do the same on the other side. So I'm taking this and working that in, and just kind of pinch it in like that. And then what we can do is just work it a little bit more. And then what I want to do is the eye is approximately going to be here. See that? So we'll do that. And then we'll go and do it on the other side. So put it in like that, and then you go back and forth like that. Just like that. And then I'll look and see how we did that. See how that's all starting to take shape? And then the other piece that we want to do is we want to do the horn that's on the nose. So we'll take this, see I'm taking this, roll this in your fingers like this, and you're going to make a point. Think of a fat ice cream cone this time. And see it? Just think, and you curve it a little bit. See that? It looks like an ice cream cone. But we're going to flip it over, and we're actually going to take and put this right here on the nose. See how I'm attaching that? And you take your fingers and you work it in, go all the way around to work it in. Just like that. So I want to. And then another thing that you want to do is you want to create the nose. So see this? Kind of go back and forth and create that nostril like that. And then we're going to do that on the other side. I want to make sure it's in approximately the same location. And you see how we're doing that? And just work that back and forth like that. And then what we're going to do, see that? I'll show you. See how that's really starting to take shape with the horns? And then you get the horn here, the eyes, the nose, the beak, and the nice plate there that goes around. And then the next thing that we want to do is I want to take, remember we made the hole in the back of the head? We're going to take and put these two pieces together like this. And you kind of just push them together. and that will enable us to put this together. What I want to do is use the additive technique, and I want to grab some extra pieces of clay over here off this block. And what I want to do is take this clay here and see, put it right behind the neck here, right there. And the purpose of that is, because we're going to push that in with this tool, that'll help us to connect the head and the neck piece. See, I'm taking that, and just kind of working that in like that, just like that. We can smooth it over in a minute, but we're going to take and do the exact same thing on the other side. We're going to roll this piece of clay, and then we're going to go in from the other side here. See how I'm doing that? And we're going to take and just push that in like that. Just like that. And then what I'm going to do is, what we can do is I would take my finger and kind of smooth that a little bit like that. See that? I'm just kind of taking and going like that and just kind of flattening it out a little bit now that it's attached. And now we can just kind of work that a little bit. Don't worry so much about the proportions. What I'm trying to do is get across the techniques here. And see how nicely that's coming along now? You have the nice body, and you have the head. Now we want to do the legs. So think of the legs now. We're going to roll these, almost make them look like little logs. We're going to do the two front legs, like that. And then what I'm going to do, think of a log. We want to flatten the feet. So what we'll do is we're going to take this, and I'm going to stamp it on the table like this. Just like that. And we'll do the same for the other one. And then we're going to do the two rear legs. What I'm going to do is we can roll these like we did the others. Just going to roll a little bit, make it into that log. Do that one, this one here too. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put a nice little bend in this one right here. I'll show you. See how I'm doing that? Another nice little bend. We're going to take this and we're going to make the foot. So I'm going to tap it on the table. And that's an easy way to flatten out the foot. So now, see how this leg is? How it's kind of got a nice little bend in it? We're going to do the same thing for the other one. I want to tap that down on the table. And then we'll make that nice little bend, just like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach the front legs. So what I want to do is take this right here, this leg here, and I'll attach it right about there. But what I want to do is I want to flatten this shoulder muscle out a little more. So I'll flatten this a little more. See how I'm doing that? And we're going to take and apply that right here. Just like that. See how we're working that in? Just like that. You're working from... And then we're going to do the other side. So we'll go over to this side. We're going to flatten, see I'm flattening this out for the shoulder muscle again. Just like that. See how I'm doing that? And then we're going to take and we're going to place that right over. I'm going to take this and place it right on the dinosaur right here, the Triceratops. Just like that. And then we'll proceed to do the rear legs. So what I want to do is kind of flatten these out. Here, see this how I'm taking this, I'm flattening it out, just like this, to make those I'll show you. That's the shape that you want. Then we'll take that and we'll attach that right about here. Just kind of work that in like that. See, and then it'll work from both sides. And then I'll proceed to attach the other leg. See this? Just take that, flatten it out nicely, like that. Just like that. Seeing the shape we made? And we're going to proceed to attach that to the other side. See, I'm just kind of working that in. What I also want to do is go underneath here where the legs are under here. See this, how I'm taking the clay and pushing that up against the leg? Because you want to bind or make sure that the leg's attached on the bottom also. And we'll do the same on the other side. Just like that. And then we'll do the same on this side. See that? I'm just trying to work that in like that. And then we'll do the same for this other leg here. I'm pushing the clay up against it like that. So what we'll do, try to look at, make sure everything's as even as it can be. There's one more thing that I want to do the Triceratops face. See this here? I'm going to make a point. I'll show you on the other one. See this model here? There's like a point. If I put it in the side, you can see that? We're going to point a point like that in each side of the head. See that there? We're going to pull that out, and I'll show you how to do that. I'll take a little bit of the clay here. See this? And I'm kind of pinching it out like this. See how we did that? And I'll do this exact same thing to the other side. I want to see this. I'm going to try to show you from this angle here. And do that. So now what I want to do is I want to put the move the legs of the Triceratops so there it makes it look like he's walking. So these two legs here, I want to have this kind of going back like that, and that kind of going forward, and then this here, we'll have this leg, see how we're doing this, pull out here, then the other leg kind of going like that. So I'll put this down to make sure that he can stand up on his own. So this is what he looks like at this point in time. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to create toenails or the claws. See these right here? It's easy if you see them from here. See those on the bottom? We're going to put 3 of those on each foot, and I'll proceed to show you how to make those. We're going to get our clay here. I'm going to pull, let's see, I'm going to pull little pieces of clay off here. I'll pull about 12, and they'll be about this size here. See how big that is in my fingers? I'll try to put it in the palm of my hand, that way you can get a better idea. See that right there? We're going to make 12 of those, so I'll just, but what I'll do is I'll first demonstrate how you do the first 3 at least. So we take this, roll this in your fingers like this, almost into like a triangular shape, and we're going to attach it right here. See this, how I'm kind of creating, molding the shape? See that? From there, and then from the, can you see the shape that I created there? You want to do that 3 times over. So I'm going to take this, place it on his foot again. I'll show you from this side. And you make that shape, and I'll make the last and final claw. I'm going to attach that. And see this? I just kind of pinch it back and forth, and I want to create that shape of the claw. So, and then if I need to, I can always take more clay off. This looks like it's too big, so I'm just going to take a little bit clay off of each claw. You can just do this, just pinch it off a little bit, and then you just see this, how I'm just working that again? Now that it's smaller, and you do that. So now, see how that claw looks? And don't worry about the proportions or the size. You can always, as you improve upon your sculptures and things, that will become a lot easier. But I just want to show you the basic techniques. And I'm going to proceed to do the other 3 legs in that manner. And finally, we have built the final and last claw, and we're going to attach that to the foot like that. See how I did that? And we have those done. The next step in the process is we want to make, I'll show you, there's little plates. See these little white plates here? They go up and around like the frilly area, the plate here on the Triceratops. We're going to be making those, and I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how to do the first few. Let's see. So you take, I had these small balls of clay here. I probably had maybe about 10. And I'll show you the size in my hand. Let's see, right there. And what we want to do is I want to take and make those into like triangular shapes. So I'll show you. You take the ball, pinch it between your fingers, and make a triangle. And see that triangular shape that I made? I know it's small, just like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take, and I'm going to take and go like from behind the head a little bit there and attach that. See how I push that in there? See how nice that is? And I'll show you how to do another one. So we take this, like I said, flatten it between your fingers, then make that triangle. So you go pinch, pinch. And see that? We made a beautiful triangle. And what we're going to do now is we're going to attach that. I'm going to show you. We're going to go from in behind the head here and attach it up top here. See how that, we just did that? And we're going to proceed to go around the entire head like that. Okay, and now finally we're going to put the last plate on, and I'm going to attach it right here. So this is the way your Triceratops should look with all those plates. See how it'll give him additional protection. You can use the horns to charge and, you know, keep an animal away, the front horn here. But this is what he will look like. You know, don't worry so much about the proportions. What I'm trying to do is get the techniques down so you understand how to make them. And we can worry about the proportions later. What I want to do is show you how to make the scales. What we're going to do is I'm going to take this sculpting tool here, that like we've used in the past. Here, it's got that triangular head. And we're going to go all around the body of the Triceratops like this. Make very small little indentations, just like this. And that's going to create the scales for the dinosaur's body. See how that has a very nice texture? See how good that looks? And we're going to go all around the dinosaur like that, the Triceratops. You're going to do that to the legs. You're going to do that to the tail. You're going to do that to this area here of the dinosaur. What I would do is when you're doing this, put your finger or thumb behind the clay because it's very thin here, and just kind of just dab it like that. See how I'm doing that? And you're going to do that around the entire dinosaur. You're going to do it in the face. You're going to do it in that area, this whole area. And that's how we will complete the dinosaur. And the next step after I completed that step is we will need to bake it in the oven at 275 degrees. Now that it's fired in the oven at 275 degrees, it's hard, and it's now ready to paint. And I will show you the types of paints that we can use to paint the Triceratops. These are acrylic paints, which can be bought in any art store. There's about 18 in this package. It has all the basic colors. And the colors that we will be using tonight are, we want to use black for the eyes, brown for the body, and then for the horns and the toes or the claws, we want to use this cream color. So we'll proceed to do that. And I will show you which brushes that we will use. I just want to put this aside so it doesn't get in the way. We want to use, I have a brush here that I like for the eyes, and I'll show you. That is this brush right here. It has a fine point. We use that for the eyes. We will use this brush here for the horns and the plates, and that'll be used for that. And then for the body, we'll be using this size right here. So the first thing we do is, I think we'll try to do the eyes. We're going to take the black paint. We're going to dip that in here. And what I want to do is, see this here? We just want to dip this brush in here. Just like that. So we just did that. And we're going to do that on the other side. I'll dip it again. Try to get off any excess paint. And I'll proceed to put that in the other eye, right here. And if we put too much paint there, we can always paint over it to make it smaller. But I'm going to go back and do this one again. It looks like I'll just make it a little larger. So that's how that should be painted. The next thing that I would like to do is I want to do the cream color on the plates, the horns, and I'll show you what I want to do. I'm going to take this and just kind of dab it like that. I'm going to paint that. And then I also want to do is paint the beak this color too, right in front here. And I'll show you, we'll paint it from both sides. I want to get that beak in there, paint that. But we also want to get this horn. Just like that. Just go around it. The other thing that we want to paint are these horns up here. Right here. Just like that. See how I'm doing that? Back and forth, basically. And then what we do is we want to do the other side. See how I'm doing this? Back and forth, just like that. And then what we can do is, I can look for the underside of the horn here. I'll flip it to this side so we can get this side. See how I'm doing this? Just like that. And then I'll do this side here. See that? I'll show you. See how I'm getting that in there? Just like that. And then I want to paint this side of the horn here. Just kind of go back and forth. And then I'm going to flip them over and do the exact same thing, get underneath there. You might want to do this a couple of times to give it a really nice color. The next thing that we want to do is, see these plates here? Paint them like that. Just going to just dab them like that and go all the way around. Go back and forth. And another thing that you want to also do is do them from behind. So what we do is, see these here? Just kind of dab them from behind, like this. That way you're getting both sides. And you're going to proceed to go around the entire head in that manner. I won't paint every single one, but I just want to give you the idea. And then we want to paint the claws on the feet. What I would do is, see this? We'll do the bottom part first, like that. And just kind of paint in between, like this. And now we can paint the top. See, I'm going to paint the top part of the claws. Make sure you're getting it from all sides. And I'll show you how to do a couple of feet like that. And you want to do the same thing in the rear. See this, how we're just dabbing it? Another way you can get it is, you want to get it from underneath this way also. And then try to paint in between like this. And then we want to do it from the top also, the top of the claws. I'll try to, see how we're doing this? Just dab like that. And so that gives you an idea of what we need to do. The next thing I want to show you is how to do the body. So I'm going to take this. What I would do is start with the underside and go like this, see this? And just paint back and forth like that. Another thing you want to do is paint the inside of the legs here. See how I'm getting that? It's very important to get the inside of the legs like that. And then we want to paint the head. See this? Now you just want to be careful when you get near the eyes. We're just going to go back and forth, back and forth. See how we're doing that? And we got this. See how I'm painting that? Just when you get close here, just small strokes. Another area you want to paint is behind the head also. I'll show you this area here. See how I'm painting that? And you want to paint that behind there. See how I'm doing that? And then you can proceed to paint the rest of the body. So you can see how we're doing the legs here. Work on that. Do the back. Just like this. Back and forth, back and forth. See how we're doing that nicely? Just back and forth. I'll move this out of the way. See? Back and forth, just like that. And you're going to proceed to paint the entire Triceratops in that manner. Let's do a little bit more so you get the idea. Back and forth, just like that. And I will show you what the painted Triceratops should look like when it's completed. We'll put this aside. I'll show you this. See this Triceratops? See how all the underside is painted brown? See how I did the legs from the side? You can see right there, and the inside of that leg. And you want to do the same thing on the inside of these legs. And then you proceed to paint the entire head, almost the brown. You got the black eyes. But now you got the cream color horns, and you got the cream color plates here, as well as the beak. And then, like I said before, what you want to do is you want to paint behind here. See how that's all brown? You want to paint the entire dinosaur here brown. And then the claws are also the cream color. And that's what your finished, completed Triceratops will look like when it is done. Just rotate it so you can get a good view. And I do want to thank you for coming to Creations in Clay, and I do look forward to seeing you again next week. Goodbye for now.